Um, Thank you for joining us here in Washington Heights. I'm Jano Lieber, Chair and CEO of the MTA, and I'm here with MTA Construction and Development President Jamie Torres-Springer, Chief Accessibility Officer Quimel Arroyo, and also Robert Jackson, the state senator from the area. Al Taylor, the assemblyman. Thank you both for being here. Joined momentarily by Carmen De La Rosa, who's the local council member, Mark Levine, Borough President, a big supporter of the MTA and a partner in so much of what we do. And also, Congressman Adriano Espaillat is represented here by Maximo Javier. Maximo, thank you for being here. And thank you to Congressman Espaillat, who's one of our guardian angels in Washington. Last but not least, we are also not only here to celebrate elevators and accessibility, but an amazing art transformation that's taken place of this station. You'll hear more about it. And Cheryl Hageman is here from MTA Arts and Design to celebrate that. Listen, this is a big day for the neighborhood. The historic 181st Street station is now fully ADA accessible. This is our eighth, thank you, fully ADA accessible. This is our eighth ADA accessibility opening this year. We're on our way to a few more. And the MTA, I just want to say it, and I'm going to say it every time, the MTA is doing ADA stations 3 or 4 times as fast as ever before in history. It is a huge step forward. Now listen, hello. There were already elevators here at the street level, but they didn't go down to platform, only to the mezzanine. Now there are 2 brand new elevators that go all the way down, plus a ramp, ADA compliant ramp leading to a tunnel connecting customers to the existing elevators. This was a very complicated project. Folks in the neighborhood know this station, know that it is actually listed on the United States Register of Historic Places. It dates back to 1932. It is complicated to mess with the station with this much historic fabric, but we did it, and we brought this station into the 21st century. It's about time. It's about time. I said it at our board meeting yesterday. I said it last week in Park Slope when we opened another ADA station. Improving transit accessibility is a passion of mine. This is one of our top goals for the MTA, at least as long as I'm there sitting on the 20th floor at 2 Broadway. And I'm thrilled at, as I said, the unprecedented pace of progress we are making on ADA accessibility. Kudos to Jamie and the team at MTA C&D. Kudos. We have 26 separate ADA projects under construction now, 4 in the final stages of work. And of course, we've heard about the fact that we have 67 ADA projects being completed as part of our current MTA capital program. $5 billion being invested in ADA accessibility. Now, in addition to giving a tip of the hat to all the folks who made the project happen, the folks in the vest back there, bravo, thank you. And in addition to acknowledging the incredible team of elected officials who are supporters of transit, and they're supporters of mobility, and they're supporters of equity, and they're supporters of opportunity, each of them in different ways and in different roles. I also have to acknowledge our partners at the Federal Transit Administration who contributed funding to this project. And we are going to keep knocking on doors in Washington for some of that Biden infrastructure money, because we have $5 billion for ADA accessibility, but there's more in Washington. We know where the pots are, and we're going to keep knocking on those doors. New York could not function without our mass transit system and our amazing shared public spaces. I always say it's not just about transit. It's about the fact that in the sharing of public spaces, we are proving out the world's greatest experiment in tolerance and diversity every day. New Yorkers are together in the parks, in the libraries, and they are most of all together on mass transit. And not to forget, another reason that we're also passionate about transit is it's one of the few things that makes New York more affordable. And in a world where owning an automobile costs like $15,000 a year, transit is 10% of that cost, and we're going to keep celebrating it and making it available. Bottom line, because of all these reasons, transit needs to be fully accessible to every New Yorker. That's why these projects are so important. That's why we're always going to be celebrating ADA openings. And I'm thrilled to be here. And let me turn it over with that to Jamie Torres-Springer. Jamie.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, Chair. It's a pleasure to be here today to celebrate the opening of another fully accessible subway station. As you said, number 8 this year, 9 if you one through public-private partnership. And this is a really important accessibility upgrade on the A train at this station. This is part of an ADA improvement package of 8 stations that's being delivered better, faster, and cheaper through design build. This is number 4 of that package that we finished, and we've got 4 more to go, and they're all moving along very nicely. We're going to be excited to open those over the next months. This upgrade encompasses more than these 2 shiny new mezzanine to platform elevators. There's a lot of work that goes into making a station ADA accessible that you can't always see. We replaced the platform edges to include tactile strips for customer safety. We created a marked, all right, yeah. Hey, I don't know if you want to clap for each of these things because there's a lot. We marked a new ADA boarding area, and in alignment with ADA standards, we reconstructed these 2 new platform staircases, and we regraded the ramp from Overlook Terrace, which is a key entry point into this station, and it's such a beloved landmark to those living in the Heights, Overlook Terrace, and so we're so happy that that entrance is now accessible by ramp. We also made other key improvements while we were at it, including new digital customer information screens, a new public address system, a new fire alarm system, CCTV cameras to address public safety concerns. We reconfigured the mezzanine control area here for better pedestrian flow. And as Jano mentioned, there's these 3 amazing new mosaics commissioned by MTA Arts and Design that speak to this community's history. It's called Great Waves of Immigration. It's by an artist named Carmen Lizardo, Dominican-born with a great relationship to Washington Heights. And they create a brighter and more welcoming station environment in addition to really speaking to the history and heritage of this neighborhood, this amazing neighborhood here in New York City. Accessible stations benefit the neighborhood, but we understand construction also requires a lot of patience. This neighborhood has advocated for accessibility upgrades at 181st Street for a long time, particularly members of Community Board 12. Yes. We thank them for their support and their partnership with the MTA. And before I hand it over, I want to acknowledge those within the MTA and our contractors who worked tirelessly to get this station over the finish line. We have great representation today. Bill Montanili runs our business unit. Peter Brighton's here. We've got our project CEO, AJ Chilhan, our project director, Vikram Talda. Thank you, everybody at the MTA made this happen. Our design builder, joint venture between MLJ and TC, very well represented here by Chris Dawson and others. They're doing a great job for us. Modern Elevator. There's not that many elevator providers who can actually build an elevator that can fit in the New York City subway system and actually function, and Modern's doing a great job. We got AECOM, the designer of record. Our program management consultant is here, well represented. Mohammed in particular, who's the project manager, and a number of executives from HNTB. And one last shout out, maybe some of the most important guys at the end of each of these is Joseph and Angelo from Transit Elevators and Escalators. Thank you very much, because they... I'm not even going to describe all the difficult things that Joseph and Angelo help us get through to get these things open. But we're tremendously pleased at the partnership and very proud of this elevator. And with that, I'll hand it over to my friend Camille Arroyo, the MTA's Chief Accessibility Officer.
Thank you so much, Jamie. I am so excited to be here today to celebrate this opening of 181st Street. This is the first deep station in Washington Heights that we are making accessible, and we are certainly not stopping here. Listen, as a longtime Uptown resident, I know all too well that the MTA has not always invested enough in accessibility in this part of the system. And if I didn't know it firsthand, our past friend Edith Prentice made sure everyone at the MTA knew it. This would have been her home station, except that she needed to travel to the accessible station at 175th Street, where a plaque dedicates to her honor at that elevator. And we see the results of her passionate advocacy in our celebration here today and across our system. Not only have we made train service accessible for the first time here, but by adding that ramp at Overlook that Jamie was talking about, we have also made the connection between Fort Washington and actually just 200 feet away from here, the highest natural point in Manhattan, to the valley down on Broadway. It's a crucial connection for the community, and it exemplifies the broad definition of accessibility that we are using today at the MTA. Those large elevators are packed with strollers, people with bicycles, people like me who use wheelchairs, mobility device, walkers, or canes. And it's a testament to the importance of the work that we are doing here and the vibrancy of this neighborhood in Washington Heights. I know there was a lot of agita when we replaced the deep station elevators a few years ago, but as we said then, modernizing the elevators is crucial in its own right and ensuring access for all and ensuring that the elevators remain reliable, right? You heard it from Jano yesterday. We are focused, we are laser focused on elevators accessibility, and we are not only meeting that 96.5 threshold, but you heard from Jano, we are at 98%, well above that threshold, that floor that we have set for ourselves. With these two new elevators, we're connecting, connecting the community, we're replacing the work, and we're making the station fully accessible. With a fully accessible station here at Dyckman on the 1 train, which we just opened earlier this year, we replaced new elevators at 207th Street last year, and ongoing replacements of the elevators on 175th Street on the A, just south of here. We continue to focus on improving transit accessibility uptown. In fact, we hope to be back here soon as we are redefining the design for 168th Street on the 1 train, and we hope to make good on our promise for full accessibility there in the coming years. Making that 1 train on 168th Street accessible will give Washington Heights the fully accessible transfer complex that it deserves, and unlocking so many more options. I am so proud of our fellow Dominican, my fellow Dominican, Carmen Lizardo, for beautifying this station in her artwork here, creating waves of immigration. Some words in Spanish for our viewers at home. Para mí es un placer estar aquí con mi equipo en la MTA, Jano Lieber, Jamie Torres Springer y todos los electos que estamos celebrando esta apertura de esta nueva estación, accesible por la primera vez aquí en Washington Heights. Pero no solamente esta estación, la rampa que hemos hecho asequible conectando aquí en la 181, la 184 con Overlook en Broadway, dándole a la comunidad esa conexión que tanto han deseado y han necesitado. Para nosotros es un placer. Estábamos aquí meses atrás celebrando la apertura en Dyckman cuando hicimos esa estación completamente accesible y le prometemos a la comunidad que volveremos pronto cuando abramos la estación en la 168 haciendo ese complejo completamente accesible con las estaciones en el tren 1 y el A. Para nosotros es un placer darle esta conexión a la comunidad que tanto lo necesita y lo merece. Muchas gracias y manténganse vigentes que volveremos a Washington Heights. Un placer.
Qué bien, adelante con Quimel. A couple of other folks I want to acknowledge. Debbie Nabavian, who is the Manhattan Community Board 12 Traffic and Transportation Chair. Debbie, thank you for being here. Thank you for joining us. Also, there are a couple of advocates who are always with us, not just at MTA board meetings, but as we go around working on disability issues, and I also want to give them a shout out. They're right here, Christopher Greif and Michael Ring. Thank you both for being partners, keeping us on our toes, but also being partners. Now, with that, the distinguished state senator, Robert Jackson.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone. Let me just say, this is a great day for Northern Manhattan. 181st Street and Fort Washington Avenue, accessible through right there. In fact, this morning, I got here a little early, walked all through the process here, went downstairs, looked at the elevators, inspected everything, and I say we are ready to go. Obviously, it's imperative that we have accessible subway stations all over the city of New York, and I'm happy that by next year, all of Northern Manhattan will be ready to go. And so for everyone, I say thank you that's been involved in putting this together on behalf of the tens of thousands of our constituents that use both the elevators 181st Street in Fort Washington, over here on Overlook Terrace. So thank you on behalf of all of the constituents, and we appreciate what you're doing. As you know what they say, Palante! Palante, always forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Jackson, longtime partner. As I said, Borough President Mark Levine has been an amazing partner in everything we're doing at MTA, and we're going to hear from him now.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, Chair Lieber. Thank you, President Torres Springer, and all your teams. Thank you to the guys who are out here with the vest and the hard hats. You did an amazing job on this. Big applause for the workers out here today. Now, this was an extremely high priority project for the city of New York for one simple reason. I live 2 blocks away, and I come through those turnstiles every morning. And by the way, I saw you guys working over the past year or two, and I know how hard it must have been to do that work in the midst of a living, breathing subway station that's very heavily used. But the trains kept stopping here. People were able to continue to commute. And now we have this beautiful, beautiful, modernized new station. Congratulations to all of you for that work. Now, I don't know what deity sent us Q Arroyo, but you have been doing such a good job. Un aplauso, señores, para Q Arroyo for leading this fight citywide. We got a long way to go. I don't know what the percent is. Are we at 30% accessible at this point? About 35%. If you, this is number 147? Okay, but who's counting? Obviously, Jamie Torres Springer's counting. If you, like me, want to get to 100%, then I have some very good news for you. And this is a little off script. But yesterday, the MTA just voted on a transformative policy, congestion pricing. And that's going to create a steady stream of revenue that will fund capital work just like this. Am I right? Yes, I am. So every person who's speaking out on that policy, you need to understand the stakes. The stakes are more stations that are modernized, that are upgraded, that are accessible, just like 181 on the A train. I want to see more like this all over the city. What about you guys? All right, let's do this. Congratulations, everybody.
The New York State Assembly member, Al Taylor.
Hey, good morning, everyone. This is a great day, and I just want to echo what my colleagues have said. Thank you, each one of you, because I know the calls, I know the emails, the inconvenience, and now, finally, it has happened. I'm thinking about that song. Finally, it has happened, and I am so happy, glad. But Q, my man, I'm sorry, Mr. Chair, thank you. Because he and I be blowing up his phone about other different things, and I'm happy to know that there's so many more that are going to happen. So I want to say thank you, but selfishly, we're going to share what you've done with the rest of this city and this state, because this is one of the richest communities in the state of New York. So much history. Now everyone has access to get here to witness it for themselves. Thank you all again.
Good afternoon, good morning, I'm not sure, but I'm Councilmember Carmen De La Rosa. I represent Washington Heights and Inwood and Marble Hill in the City Council, and I'm so happy to be here. I have to give my thank you to Jano, Jamie, Hugh, Megan, the intergovernmental team that dealt with us every single day, and Community Board 12, our partners at Community Board 12. I have to say that this station, I probably got more emails about this station than any other project happening in the Heights. And I want to say that this station is special. It is a critical artery in our mass transit system. And to see it be fully accessible is not only a legacy that we can all be proud of, but it's also done in the memory of a fighter in our community, Edith Prentice, whose name was already evoked here today. I want to say that we are working on a street co-naming for Edith, and her family is proud of her legacy, and this is a continuation of that. I also want to say that although we know that there was inconvenience to the community as this project was happening, it was so important to see it done right. because that is what we deserve. A station that is fully accessible, the leaks are taken care of, the bumps and on the road are taken care of. And I also want to acknowledge a fellow Dominican woman by the name of Carmen, all the good ones are, Carmen Lizardo, who is the artist who is putting her passion to beautify this station. This is a labor of love, and this is what community unity looks like, and I am just so grateful for this team, for the vision of the MTA, and for the tenacity of our community. I am so excited to celebrate a fully accessible Uptown. Thank you so much.
You can tell we got top-tier elected officials in this community, and we're thrilled to work with you and keep working with you because there's more to be done. So with that, Tim, I think
We are looking for questions. If there are any questions, we'll take questions. Anybody? We're good. Said it all.
Thank you
for-
again. And we'll see you at the next ADA opening. Everybody is invited because we're going to keep doing this again and again. Thank you.
And for those who are watching the live stream in the newsrooms, we're about to feed a B-roll package to you. B-roll package is coming next.